Okay, the other day on one of these things, I did Reverend Gary Davis's Candyman. So today I shall do first banjo, then harmonica. I have to remember that. It doesn't work real well otherwise. Okay. Banjo, then harmonica. So I played Reverend Gary Davis's Candyman, and this is John Hurt's Candyman, which is even raunchier than, well, it's considerably raunchier than the Good Reverend. But I guess since he was religious, you know, he didn't want to do this set of verses. Come, all you ladies, and gather around the good, sweet Candyman's in town. It's that Candyman, sweet Candyman. He likes a stick of candy, 9-inch long. He sells it as fast as a hog can chew his corn. It's that Candyman, sweet Candyman. Well, his stick of candy don't melt away. It just gets better. So the ladies say it's that Candyman, sweet Candyman. Yes, you and that Candyman are getting mighty thick, oh yeah, oh yeah. I think you must be stuck on the Candyman stick, oh yeah, oh yeah. You all heard what Sister Johnson said. I always take a candy stick to bed. It's that Candyman, sweet Candyman. Oh, don't stand too close to the Candyman. Put a stick of candy right in your hand. It's that Candyman, Candyman. Well, I think you and that Candyman are getting mighty thick, oh yeah, oh yeah. You must be stuck on the Candyman stick, oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, he sold some candy to Sister Bad. The very next day she took all he had, that Candyman, sweet Candyman. If you try his candy, good friend of mine, you sure will want it for a long, long time. It's that Candyman, sweet Candyman. stick, oh yeah, oh yeah. I think it must be stuck on the Candyman stick, oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right. Hey,
Hopefully you start
That was
yourself another
downright
beer
good.
machine.
I don't what's happened to you, Terry? That was good.
a true Bulgarian, Terry. Well done, sir. Well done. All right, that's available on the outtake version that Terry will put together later. So now that's an interesting start. And talking of interesting, we now go over to Rick, and I will mute everybody, and then it's your turn. Here we go. Mute all. Okay, it's all yours, Rick.
Okay. Well, as I was saying earlier, I was sitting around the other night watching television, and somehow these two words were mentioned on the television show, and all of a sudden the beginning of this popped into my mind, and I just had to sit down and do it. So I brought out the tablet and the Bluetooth keyboard and muted the TV and set to work. So here it is. The stars. Strewing stars from unclasped hands leads my eyes to whirls of galaxies. When will I ever be through creating, I ask? No one cares on city streets full of taxis. How can I begin to grasp the reason I do this? When will my life get back to something like normal? There's no answer in the street besides swirls of dust. And though I want something to come, it's informal. Will they have tiny points like those on my childhood Christmas tree? Can it be said there would be 5 or 6 or 500 of them? Only I can answer what will happen inside this head of mine, blasting out solar systems like digital cities from Sim. Concussion is what they said I had when at last I came to. I was struck by the trailer of a failing 18-wheeler sliding off the main thoroughfare of my fair city like cards from a penny ante poker table dealer. No radio astronomers noticed when the stars began to shine through what were once only clouds of far-flung gas. There are so many stars in the universe's fields that I could literally say to myself, this too shall pass.
Hey, good one, man. Good one. Very good. All right. Thank you, Tom. Rick, I just noticed Sandy and company have joined us, so they're on the list here. So we're
Yes.
moving around the circle here, and
And
it's
this is
now
the steamy part
Steve's
of the evening.
turn. And I'm going to mute everybody and turn it over to Steve. So here we go. Hang in there. Mute all. Okay, your turn to turn it on, man.
Here's a song which was first recorded by a soap powder sponsored country and western band in 1934, and they were called, wait for it, the Oxydol Pioneers. I don't know if anybody remembers Oxydol. My mum used to use Oxydol. I better get back from the microphone because
This was a British product, perhaps?
started off as a British product, I think it got taken over by an American company eventually. Anyway, it was a popular. In the 50s and 60s, it was quite a popular soap powder. Anyway, they used to do all sorts of things, like they would give away free gifts with the soap powder, which was why we always get our mum to buy it. But they also sponsored this country and western band called the Oxydol Pioneers. And they were the first people to record it in 1934. It's been recorded by all sorts of people since, but the Oxydol Pioneers were the first. It's a very jolly song about an industrial disaster. In the year of '89, on that old Chicago line, when the winter winds was blowing shrill, the track was froze, the wheels were cold, and the air brakes wouldn't hold. Number 9 came rolling down the hill, and the runaway train went down the track and she blew, she blew. The runaway train went down the track and she blew, she blew. The runaway train went down the track, a whistle widened the throttle back and she blew, 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 blew. The engineer said the train must halt, she blew, she blew. The engineer said the train must halt, she blew, she blew. The engineer said the train must halt, he said it was all the fireman's fault, she blew, 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 blew. The fireman said he rang the bell and she blew, she blew. The fireman said he rang the bell and she blew, she blew. The fireman said he rang the bell, the engineer said he did like, and he blew, 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 blew. The porter got an awful fright, she blew, she blew. The porter got an awful fright, she blew, she blew. The porter got an awful fright, he got so scared his face turned white, she blew, 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 blew. Oh, Mr. Porter, what shall I do? I want to go to Birmingham and you're taking me off the crew. Take me back to London as quickly as you can. Oh, Mr. Porter, what a silly girl. Conductor said there'd be such a wreck, she blew, she blew. Conductor said there'd be such a wreck, she blew, she blew. Conductor said there'd be such a wreck, he felt the children down his neck, and she blew, 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 blew. And the runaway train went over the hill and she blew, she blew. The runaway train went over the hill and she blew, she blew. The runaway train went over the hill, as far as I know she's going steady. She blew, 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 blew.
Yay!
Magnificent.
Steve on his it's the Concertina there. I don't know how he does
Yes, yes, that's
that. It is an amazing effect.
that's a concert. That must be a concertina.
Excellent. All right, moving along, it's Birdman's turn now. We're going to mute everybody. Here we go. I mute all. Okay, it's all yours.
All right. Okay. This is a poem I wrote after I came back from LA at Santa Monica, and I noticed now that when I do poems and then I shoot videos, I don't see everything the first time. So looking at the videos, it gives me a different picture, and so I can write about it. This one is titled Fog Over the Ocean. Looking for my reflection while gazing out into the fog that covers the ocean. Standing on the shoreline as the waves splash up against the rocks. I sail with my eyes floating out over the deepest part of the ocean. Seagulls enjoy the foggy mist as they flutter about. listening to the foghorns as they guide the ships and tankers, as I watch the mist cross over the ocean and cover the beach. The fog is a soothing mist that comforts as well as quiets the soul. It flows over an overactive mind and carries our dreams up and away. The fog hides and disguises our reality. We can only imagine or assume that we know what is before us. When the fog clears, what we see may only be a memory or a whole new reality. Like the ocean, sometimes our lives are covered in a fog. Proceed cautiously until things can be seen clearly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Very good. Very good. All right, moving on. It is now my turn, so I am going to mute everybody. Just head up. David is next after me. So here we go. Mute all. All right, this is a big reveal time because I'm about to play an electronic instrument. I don't want anyone to yell out Judas in the first verse because there's a reason for this. I'm on a journey to try and play a a six-stringed instrument called a guitarlele, which is basically a ukulele with a couple of extra strings, but it's really its own instrument. And I'll stand up here so you can see. This is actually a 22-inch scale Fender Squier Mini, and there's a certain length you can't go longer on, or the strings are so thin they will just break all the time. So we're working to eventually we want to have an instrument that looks a bit like this, but it will also be able to play acoustic. Yes.
So
They
here
say
it
it's
is, like
possible.
Bob Dylan at Newport.
No, it's like Bob Dylan in Manchester. That's where he got the Judas in 1966. There's a whole video on that, Pennybacker. Anyway, so we're going to give it a go. So bear with me, because we're a newbie. And I've turned it way down low. It's at -11 at this point. The cruel war is raging. Johnny has to fight. I long to be with him by morning and night. I want to be with him, it grieves my heart so. Won't you let me come with you? No, my love, no. Tomorrow is Sunday, Monday is the day that your captain will call you, and you must obey. Your captain will call you, it grieves my heart so. Won't you let me come with you? No, my love, no. I'll tie back my hair, men's clothing I'll put on. I'll pause for your comrade as we march along. I'll pause for your comrade, no one will ever know. Won't you let me go with you? No, my love, no. Oh Johnny, I feel you are unkind. I love you far better than all of mankind. I love you far better than words can ever express. Won't you let me come with you? Yes, my love, yes. They marched into battle, she never left his side, till a bullet shell struck her, and love was denied. A bullet shell struck her, tears came to Johnny's eyes, as he knelt down beside her. She silently died.
The
Selected
dismal
hits and
version than some
Gary.
I've heard.
That was on the the volume of 3. So who knows what's up at the top end? So.
Oh, I
We'll
thought it
look
was
forward to
minus
volume
11.
4. We'll look forward to volume 4 when it comes out.
Okay. Thank you for that electronic insight. All right, let's move on, and it's David, and I will be putting the Judas instrument away for the rest of the show. Back to the acoustics. On to David. Let's let me mute everybody. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, David, all yours.
Well, yesterday, we heard from a version of The Wounded Hussar. And I want to play the version that I know, which is based on the piping of the great Irish musician Seamus Ennis. I heard him play this live one day many years ago at the old Ash Grove Folk Club. And I won't sing the words for it because they're incredibly depressing. But it's a beautiful tune, The Wounded Hussar.
That was quite beautiful.
That must have taken a lot of practice.
Some.
Yeah. Those thumbs just go automatically now, sir. No, it's beautiful. Moving right along, and it's Tom's turn. I'm going to mute everybody, and then it's over to you. Here we go. Mute all. Boom. Okay,
Well, you just heard Rick. He sent me that poem and I replied to it straight away. Here's my reply to Rick's new poem. It is true, we are but dust from stars ablaze, anonymous. We tag them with names, but find they do not care for us. We cannot live up there, Rick, and only visit if a billionaire, Rick, subsidizes our temporary time allotment. And even then, only selected orbs are Cinderella planets supporting us. We are of air, and I Can't Breathe now moves from black and brown to vanilla citizens. Plague carries off elders, now moves to younger flesh. How can those shining stars above forestall our death? We still look up at night, forego computers' blue glow, for the cool, dark, fiery night sky of uncounted ferocities. Stars are not at war, nor do they trek. We project our little lives upon their hugeness. Immense timescales recall dinosaur blips. We stare at stars and wonder, who's next? And I just have an invocation for rain because I'm getting a bit desperate for rain in Austin. This is end of summer rain invocations for Austin. Soon it will be autumn with a full moon on Monday, autumn fall on Wednesday, rain falling this week, I say. So we will gather up rain barrels using plastic totes to gather every raindrop. Bucket the waters upon all summer sun survivors, just tiny tomatoes and peppers and herbs who drink and gulp their way into tiny leafed salvation today. Soon I will weed and mulch the soil when the dead plants outnumber all living. I will use my rain barrel companions which store precious waters, tools for continuance. So all praise rain gathering instruments in Austin, gutters, spouts, and barrels. For me, plastic totes will have to be the way to empower fragile flowers and the way to capture rainfall in incoming fall. That's all. Yay!
And you poets today have very nice coordinated screen backgrounds.
Oh yeah, we converse visually.
With
Sandy and I
Hey,
play
Tom, you can have our rain because we're getting it right now. So you can have our rain.
I want it.
we come and get it.
Yeah,
It looks like
Little pickup
it
truck.
looks
I'll
like,
take some home with me, sir.
looks like Rick and Tom are at the same time of day. So
Yes.
they're even more well coordinated.
Yeah, that's how I chose my background. I looked at Tom's and I said, what can I use to go with that?
All right, thank you, Rick.
Wow. Talking of backgrounds, our next performers, this is called a transition, people. Our next performers, the Hortons, always have excellent backgrounds. So I'm going to turn over to them. I'm going to mute everybody. Here we go. You. It's all yours.
Okay, for Stones. Oh, what is that on my screen? Okay, today for Stone Soup, we're going to play some Beatles songs. And so for our first round, we're going to play two songs. I'm going to play on alto recorder, and he's going to play on his red Stratocaster. And it's going to be two love songs by Lennon McCartney. The first one is I Will, and the second one is Because. And you can sing along at home and no one can hear you. Okay, let me scoot back. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Yay for the
Yay!
Beatles.
Sharma rocked that.
Me too.
Really, really wonderful.
Who, who knew the Beatles wrote chamber music for
They did.
Didn't hear any
aerophones and
singing.
guitars? Who knew? Cool. Good stuff. All right, Mary Jane's up. Bringing up the first person in the first round here. So here we go. Mute everybody. All right, it's all yours.
Well, following that beautiful display of flute and guitar music, I'm going to do a Robert Earl Keen song, The 5-Pound Bass. So let's see. Up this morning before the sun, fix me some coffee and a honey bun. Jumped in my pickup, gave her the gas. I'm going out to catch a 5-pound bass. Down by the lakeside, just off the ramp, all them people sleeping in their fishing camp. Some out in their pup tents, out on the grass. They'll all be dreaming about that 5-pound bass. in the clear. I sail across that water as smooth as glass. Get ready, here I come, you 5-pound bass. I find the perfect spot. Here's some old dead trees. Back in a canyon where you can't feel no breeze. I tie my lure. I make my cast. It's breakfast time, you 5-pound bass. The early birdie always gets his worm. Me, I always get my wish. When you're talking about that 5-pound bass, son, the early worm, it gets the fish. That old sun is rising, that water's clear. I watch my lure as it's flying through the air. I see a ripple, I hear a splash. Lord have mercy, it's a 5-pound bass. That's a 5-pound bass, son. As big as a newborn baby. Get those hoe cakes ready, son.
Well, that was something. Yeah.
Well, you know, one thing you can't say of that, it was not bass backwards.
Ah, thank you, Rick. Does that count as your turn? Hey, just kidding, just
My
kidding.
turn is so far around that you won't be able to catch the other side.
Okay, I just wait for it then. That was great. I've not heard that one for a long time, so that's a cool song. And we're back at the top of the table again. There's really only 9 people with David masquerading as 2 people to fool the rest of us. So, but we go with Terry, and I will mute everybody. Here we go. Mute all. Boom. Okay, Terry, all yours.
Well, I thought I'd try a daring experiment. A lot of people are doing, having been so sick of singing by themselves all the time, are experimenting with trying to make Zoom work for what's, if it's not singing together, it's collaborative singing, like, what's her name? Lynn Phillips and Andy, whatever his name was, did a thing where they alternated verses. And then I was on another one where someone did this hilarious thing of having everybody sing a verse, a chorus that went on and on and on. And so it comes out over the Zoom in a very interesting way. So I thought I'd try a sea chanty and see if I can recruit a couple of fools into joining me in it. I was thinking of Stuart and David, and I thought we could do.
Yes, of course, Stuart comes to mind when you think of fools, right?
So this is a sea chanty, so it has this typical verse, which is, you know, line and response and line and response, and the line, this is Lever Johnny Lever. So the verses go like this: oh, times are hard and the wages low. And then
Lever, Johnny,
You
lever.
got exactly the right idea. And then I guess it's time for us to go. And David.
It's time for us to leave her.
Very nice. I didn't ask if you guys wanted to do this, but okay, so that's how all the verses go. And we'll do the verses like that. And then there's a kind of a chorus, and it goes, lever, Johnny, lever. Oh,
Lever, Johnny, lever.
Yeah. Oh, what? I've lost track. For Johnny, leave it. Oh, a voyage is done and the winds don't blow. It's time for us to leave her. And if we want to get really daring, we could do that last line. It's time for us to leave, or we could try to do it together and see what happens. I mean, who knows what will happen? Okay, are you guys ready? Oh, times are hard and the wages low.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
I guess it's time for us to go.
It's time for us to leave her.
Beware them packet ships, I say.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
They'll steal your stores and your clothes away.
It's time for us to leave her.
There's Liverpool Pat and his tarpaulin hat.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
And Yankee John, the packet rat.
It's time for us to leave her.
Well, she would not wear and she would not stay.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
She shipped great seas both night and day.
It's time for us to leave her.
Here's the chorus. Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Ah, the voyage is done and the winds don't blow.
And it's time for us
to leave her. Maybe. Ah, it's rotten beef and weevily bread.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
It was pump or drown, the old man said.
It's time for us to leave her.
The sail's all furled and our work is done.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
And now ashore we'll take our run.
It's time for us to leave her.
Oh, what will us poor shellbacks do?
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Our money's gone, more work to do.
It's time for us to leave her.
The rats have gone and we the crew.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
It's time be damned that we went true to.
It's time for us to leave her.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Ah, the voyage is done and the winds don't blow.
It's time for us
to leave her.
Time for us. It's time for us to
leave her.
We wandered way off the key. Well,
I was going to say the trail went that way and you guys went this way.
Oh well, happy trails.
I think we should have stuck with the antiphonal.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, thank you.
The interesting thing about that shanty is it's the one that's traditionally sung just before the crew is discharged and given their pay and leave the ship. It's the last job, is pumping out the ship.
Right, it's a pump song, yeah.
And
I gotta say, the Horton Duo's image right now would just make a wonderful 1960s record jacket.
So they didn't worry about repercussions from saying bad things about the crew, the officers and the captain and so forth.
They were leaving. All right, very good. Nice experiment, Terry. Thank you for that that breakthrough in technology you were attempting there. So excellent. Let's go to Rick. Rick is next, and I'm gonna mute everybody. Here we go. Okay, all yours.
Okay, let's see. This one is one that is not mine. I don't know whether that's good or bad. And I don't know anything about the poet, but I just liked it a whole bunch, so I snagged it for use in this particular group. It's called My Brain and Heart Divorced a Decade Ago by John Rodell. I have no idea who this fellow is, but it's kind of interesting, I think. My brain and heart divorced a decade ago over who is to blame about how big of a mess I have become. Eventually, they couldn't be in the same room with each other. Now my head and heart share custody of me. I stay with my brain during the week, and my heart gets me on weekends. They never speak to one another. Instead, they give me the same note to pass to each other every week. And their notes they send to one another always says the same thing. This is all your fault. On Sundays, my heart complains about how my head has let me down in the past. And on Wednesday, my head lists all of the times my heart has screwed things up for me in the future. They blame each other for the state of my life. There's been a lot of yelling and crying. So lately, I've been spending a lot of time with my gut, who serves as my unofficial therapist. Most nights, I sneak out of the window in my rib cage and slide down my spine and collapse on my gut's plush leather chair that's always open for me. And I just sit until the sun comes up. Last evening, my gut asked me if I was having a hard time being caught between my heart and my head. I nodded. I said, I didn't know if I could live with either of them anymore. My heart is always sad about something that happened yesterday, while my head is always worried about something that may happen tomorrow, I lamented. My gut squeezed my hand. I just can't live with my mistakes of the past or my anxiety about the future, I sighed. My gut smiled and said, in that case, you should go stay with your lungs for a while. I was confused. The look on my face gave it away. If you're exhausted about your heart's obsession with the fixed past and your mind's focused on the uncertain future, your lungs are the perfect place for you. There is no yesterday in your lungs. There is no tomorrow there either. There's only now. There's only inhale. There's only exhale. There's only this moment. There's only breath. And in that breath, you can rest while your heart and head work their relationship out. This morning, while my brain was busy reading tea leaves, and while my heart was staring at old photographs, I packed a little bag and walked to the door of my lungs. Before I could even knock, she opened the door with a smile, and as a gust of air embraced me, she said, "What took you so long?"
Oh, that's great. And
That is
explains,
great.
A wonderful
explains
poem.
why we like to sing.
That is a great poem.
I wish I had written that.
That's some deep Buddhist wisdom about being here now, you know. That's
Absolutely.
really great stuff. Well done. Well read too. I've read it before. I've never heard it performed, so that's very good.
Thanks.
All right, moving right along. After that bit of deep wisdom about being here now, which we all need, it's over.
We're all here.
Oh, we're all here now, but now we're over in the UK with Steve. So let me mute everybody. Here we go. Mute all. Okay, Steve, all yours.
So I'm going to give you a quick. Oh, I can't. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought my voice wasn't going over. Yeah. I'm going to give you a quick potted history of my musical education. Well, I went to join the orchestra at school in Stoke-on-Trent. Saying, can I play the violin or some such instrument? The teacher looked me up and down and then she answered nay, because your mum and dad, they are not on the PTA. But you can play the tambourine, just don't play it too loud. We don't want kids like you to spoil our nice middle class crowd. Don't play out of rhythm, make a noise or lark about, or we will find a good excuse for two of you thrown out. So I play the tambourine, I like to make it ring. I like to bash shell out of it to make it ring-a-ling. It's the way of making sure I'm always heard and seen. I play the way to every day playing the tambourine. When I was a bit older, I joined the Salian. I asked them, can I play along with their Salvation Band? Can I play the trombone or a chord? It would be bliss. He pulled out an old tambourine and then he says, play this. So I went to the Pentecostals, the Assembly of God. I let them think they'd save me, then I asked this Pastor Bod, can I play the guitar in your evening services? He prayed a bit, he spoke in tongues, and no is what he said. So I played the tambourine, I like to make it ring. I like to bash shell out of it to make it ring-a-ling. It's the way of making sure I'm always heard and seen. I play the way to every day playing the tambourine. Our street don't need a long concert to tune to Radio 1, 'cause I bash me tambourine to welcome in the crack of dawn. Our house ain't got no vermin 'cause I scare each rat and mouse, but the vibrations are crumbling the foundations of me house. Me windows all have cracks in and so's the roof above. Me dad wears plastic earplugs and me mum has shattered nerves. The only one who likes it is me dear old Auntie F, who, as you might have guessed, she's 93 and stony deaf. So I play the tambourine, I like to make it ring. I like to bash shell out of it to make it ring-a-ling. It's the way of making sure I'm always heard and seen. I play the way to every day playing the tambourine. They won't know where to put me when I cross the great divide. Or will I go to heaven or hell, or how will they decide? Is this noise I'm making bad enough to be a sin? Will it be St. Peter or old Nick St. Steve me make come in? And bring the tambourine, I like to make it ring. I like to bash shell out of it to make it ring-a-ling. It's the way of making sure I'm always heard and seen. I play the way to every day playing the tambourine.
Yay!
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Hey.
You know,
Stuart is an
it's
old
someone who-
Salvation Army kid.
Yeah, as someone who grew up in the Salvation Army, you have very good Salvation Army level timbral playing.
Oh, right.
The cross hands, and the syncopation are very much the Salvation Army feature. So, excellent. All right. Well, that was highly entertaining, and it's available on YouTube thanks to Terry at a small fee. No, it's free. Later on.
Yeah, I'm good at giving away everyone else's performances for free.
All right, Birdman, you're up. I'm going to mute everybody, and here we go, muting all. Boom. Okay, take it away.
All right, this one is titled Nightlife. Awakening in the early morning. I look over at the clock. It's 3 a.m. I hear scratching and tapping on the window pane from a broken branch on the tree outside the window. Going back to sleep is difficult as I toss and turn, trying to get back to my dream. Slowly I rise, getting up for a quiet read or maybe to write a few thoughts while roaming in the dark. As I turn on the light in the kitchen, a cockroach runs across the floor. Looking out the kitchen window with adoration of the mirrored moon. Birds move around in their nest up high in the trees. Fallen flowers become food for the slugs and snails, while moths are frightened by the slightest of noise. Watching as rows and rows of ants transport food into their nests they built after pouring rain earlier in the day. Nocturnal life goes on, whether we observe it or not. Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. right along. We're at the end of the first hour. We have 3 hours, so hope you have plenty of material, people. So if we may thin out, you never know. All right, I believe it is my turn, so I'm going to mute everybody. Here we go. All right. All right, this summer, in the interregnum between the two reigns of COVID, when we actually were, some of us got to play live music and perform. My neighborhood band, we played at a wedding on the outskirts of Austin, and this song was one of the most popular songs on the dance floor, which surprised me. Tom's going to mention this. We're coming to the end of summer, I think next week officially. You know, it means more in a northern clime because it can be hot every day of the year in the south, but summer is coming to an end. And the great John Prine wrote a song called Summer's End. So we're going to give it a go. And we're going to do a whistle and ukulele, but not at the same time. So we hope you see the seamless transition after the first line. Summer's end around the bend, just flying. The swimming suits are on the line, just trying. I'll meet you there for a conversation. I hope I didn't ruin your whole vacation. Well, you never know how far from home you're feeling until you watch the shadows cross the ceiling. Well, I don't know, but I can see it snowing in your car. The windows are wide open. Come on home. Come on home. No, you don't have to be alone. Just come on home. Valentines break hearts and minds at random. That old Easter egg ain't got a leg to stand on. Well, I can see that you can't win for trying, and New Year's Eve is bound to leave you crying. Come on home. Come on home. No, you don't have to be alone. Just come on home. The moon and stars hang out in bars just talking. I still love that picture of us walking, just like that old house we thought was haunted. Summer's end came faster than we wanted. Come on home. Come on home. No, you don't have to be alone. Come on home. Come on home. No, you don't have to be alone. come on home. The late great John Prine. All right. It is now David's turn. So let me mute everybody. All right, David.
Right then. I mentioned yesterday at Terry's session my fondness for surrealism and Dadaism, and how a lot of these songs that are called nonsense songs are actually, to me, partaking of that same flavor. So this is a song I learned from my father in the traditional folk way. And just to make sure that the surrealism is not totally from the archaic language, you should know that when they talked about a can in the 19th century, what they meant was a large container that you could buy beer from a tavern with. This is before six-packs were invented. It was also called a growler. And rushing the growler meant running out to the bar or the saloon to get a full container of beer. And the song is called There Was a Little Man. There was a little man and he had a little can and he used to rush the growler. He went to a saloon on a Sunday afternoon and you ought to hear the bartender holler. No more booze, no more booze, no more booze on Sunday. No more booze, no more booze. Come back and get your can filled Monday. She's the only girl I love, with a face like a horse and wagon, leaning up against the lake. Oh, fireman, save my child.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to save your child.
Make of that what you will.
That's wonderful non sequitur ending, which I love. All right, now it's Tom. Tom's turn. I'm gonna mute everybody. Here we go. Okay, Tom, all yours.
Thank you. This is an old folk tune called September 19th, 2021. Kids in masks or kids with COVID, unvaccinated Trump ghost rally in Washington seems anger is in denial of science, wants the right to bear arms but not responsibility. Loud voices refusing to listen, even in Austin. Here, Republicans just effectively outlawed abortion. Lunatics in charge of Texas asylum, making war on refugees and women. Guess their Christian hymns are not hers, their music country and Western. End of summer and the end of reason. We vote, organize, and petition, but the ghosts of selfishness, patriarchy, and oppression now rise in reincarnation. Emotions are strong when intellect is weak. Time for the gentle to rise up, sing, and speak. Otherwise, the mobs of thuggery will simply violate our right to be, and we're still hungry, singing for democracy. Lodged in our time, our love has different reference points. New folks move into Austin, want different things. At the moment, housing. Our parks suffer by overloading music festivals. We lose access. We lose venues, high rents. I came in the early 90s, computer boom, post-80s bust, positive poetic reception, high times T-Bar and Brain Gym, Chicago House, Electric Lounge, Joe's Greek Diner, all were or became open mic poetry venues. Forgotten history now, like Les Amis for the slacker generation, or the Armadillo for the 60s, Vulcan Gas Company for the 70s, Lost Lodged in another time. Does anyone remember old South Austin? Full English Cafe, Strange Brew, Bakehouse, Rudradam, Hideaway, now Quacks, Lazy Days, Reverie Bookstore, Mutation Reincarnation. We carry our personal altars as memory palaces. Our ages have passed. We can no longer live there. Homeless in Austin means something else entirely. And Rick and I have just done a poem together. I won't read Rick's stuff, he can read it, but this is what we just did as a dialogue while you were serenading us. Yeah, hard sun, yellow fist that beats and beats and beats us into wilted submission. Give us then soft raining to bliss and bless each soil moment and grow our older gardens in their own elements. Inside we hide our only utility, air conditioning. We stay in while the whole world wilts without. Thank you, Rick. We can read his part of it all. Long live now, long live now.
Yeah, you have your part there, Rick.
What's
Yeah.
that?
You have your part.
Read your parts.
Oh, I should read my part. Okay, well,
We'll give you a special dispensation.
okay, well, here's some of it. Stone fist of yellow sun smacks us morning and night. Though we try to find shade, we're given to horror and fright. And then another part of it was, I'm in, wit out, skin side, feet under.
Okay.
Conversation dialogue.
Thank you for that. And let's go back to our normal programming here.
Never.
The Hortons are next, so I'm going to mute everybody. So here we go. Come on, mute. Okay, it's all yours.
Okay. Jeff's letting the dog in. It's scratching on the door, so you don't listen to that the whole time. We're going to go our next two Beatles songs. I'm going to switch over to soprano recorder so my fingers can find the holes. We're going to start out with In My Life, and then we'll do Here, There, and Everywhere. And Jeff's still in his Stratocaster.
Red Stratocaster.
Red Stratocaster. Okay. In My Life.
Say, I just remembered that I have someplace else to go. Could I quickly slide in another turn before I disappear?
Sure.
Stuart,
You want me to
They
between
got
our
a second
turns?
number, then it's yours, Rick.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna do because is
Yeah.
our other one for other.
No, not because.
Oh
Here,
wait,
there, and
what
everywhere.
is it called?
Here,
Here,
there,
there,
and
and here,
everywhere.
there, and everywhere. Indeed, indeed, indeed. I forget where to go. I don't remember where to go. Oh, okay. Just keep going.
There's
The jury will disregard that last song.
I can't remember where. I never can remember all those repeats because I never learned any of those songs when I was a kid. I never heard any of them. I just found them. We just found them in the Beatles book, and I go, I don't know where it repeats to. I can't remember.
Doesn't matter.
Oh well, I kind of remember the notes.
Only machines don't make mistakes. Just remember that. All right.
Pretty
Thank you for that. That was
solid.
lovely. Rick is going to do a farewell peon here. Let me mute everybody. Boom. Okay, Rick, it's all yours.
okay. I'm going to do three very short poems. The first one was not written by me. The others were. The first one is, let's see if I have a name of the author. Caitlin Saida. I don't know who this person is, but I was just taken by this. The name of this is Hope is Not a Bird, Emily. It's a Sewer Rat. I think that just, that was right there. The title was worthy of the whole thing, but I enjoyed the poem too. Hope is not the thing with feathers that comes home to roost when you need it most. Hope is an ugly thing with teeth and claws and patchy fur that's seen some shit. It's what thrives in the discards and survives in the ugliest parts of our world, able to find a way to go on when nothing else can even find a way in. It's the gritty, nasty little carrier of such diseases as optimism, persistence, perseverance, and joy, transmissible as it drags its tail across your path and bites you in the ass. Hope is not some delicate, beautiful bird, Emily. It's a lowly little sewer rat that snorts pesticides like they were lines of coke and still shows up on time to work the next day looking no worse for wear. That's the first one. Okay, let's see. The second one, A Night's Work. That's written by me. The man's body slumped into the alley's darkness. Overhead, rifle balls splattered against the walls. I ran forward, grabbed him, and half carried him to safety. Once we got back to the bar, I helped him into a booth. What was that all about? I asked him quietly. I was waiting for information, he said. Well, we have to get you seen to right away. I won't be able to tell you what's needed once they work on me. Well, then be quick about it, I said as I pressed a cloth against the wound. Our force has been revealed to the others. They will begin a sweep. What can we do about it to keep away from their forces? There's not much we can do to keep away now that they know about us. That's the second one. And the third one is, you shaved what? You shaved what? I can't believe you did that. You're one of the most beautiful women I know. How could you do that? I know you don't owe me an explanation, but to say that you were ravished, it's not saying enough. I'll go away now and wait until your hair grows back. Thank you.
All right, a trifecta from Rick on his way out the door. Okay, very good. Well done, sir. See you next time, sir.
See ya.
See you, man. All right, so back to Mary Jane is next. So I'm going to mute everybody, and here we go. Boom, bada boom. Okay, all yours.
Okay, I'm gonna do Green Fields by Terry Gilkison, Rick Dare, and Frank Miller, recorded by the Brothers Four. I know they did this when I was a child, so it must be pretty old. I'm sure you all remember it. Once there were green fields kissed by the sun. Once there were valleys where rivers used to run. Once there were blue skies with white clouds high above. Once they were part of an everlasting love. We were the lovers who strolled through green fields. Green fields are gone now, parched by the sun. Gone from the valleys where rivers used to run. Gone with the cold wind that swept into my arms. Gone with the lovers who left their dreams before. Where are the green fields that we used to roam? I'll never know what made you run away. How can I keep searching when dark clouds hide the day? I only know there's nothing here for me. Nothing in this wide world left for me to see.
Very nice.
The Brothers Four, they had a fundraiser with a bunch of old folkers on public broadcasting television a few weeks ago, and the Brothers Four had this wonderful tight harmony. They were fraternity brothers, I believe, and they had one man, one of the singers. He had a cymbal on a stand with a brush, and he would basically play with hand on the cymbal. He basically played the drum part. That was an interesting take, anyway. But that was lovely. I brought that all back, Mary Jane. Thank you. It's a great song.
Thanks.
And apologies for seeing the insides of my whistle there. Sorry. And at this point, I want to ask Steve what that large whistle-like instrument he has. It looks like it's an oxygen machine or a periscope, but I know it's not. So,
It's a plastic drain pipe.
is it in any particular key? Does it have fingers, or is it like a didgeridoo?
Sort of like a didgeridoo, but I play tunes on it.
Okay.
By varying the embouchure, I can get different notes.
Yes.
I'm having difficulty making with acoustics with it at the moment. It sounds great to the person who's playing it.
Yeah.
When you stand about 3 feet away, you can't hear it.
All whistles do. I mean.
Sounds like a job for an amplifier.
All right, Mary Jane is next, and then it's back to the top of the list with Terry. We're at the halfway point here, so Terry, I will mute everybody. Here we go. All yours.
Okay, well, David's mention of surrealism in folk music reminded me of this song. I haven't played it in a while, so bear with me. But this is brought to us by Gene Ritchie. And it's supposed to be a children's nonsense song, but I cannot imagine singing this song to children. It would scare the willies off of them. And it's called Nottingham Town. Okay, I think I got it. They're not in town. Not a soul would look up. Not a soul would look up. Not a soul would look down. Not a soul would look up. Not a soul would look down. Just show me the way to fair Nottingham town. I rode a gray horse, was caught a murony mare, gray mane and gray tail, green stripe down her back, gray mane and gray tail, green stripe down her back. There weren't a hair on her, but what was coal black. She stood so still, she threw me to the dirt. She tore my hide and she bruised my shirt. From saddle to stirrup, I'm at it again. And as I rode over the plain. Met the king and the queen and a company more come walking behind and riding before. Come a stark naked drummer beating the drum with his hands in his bosom, come marching along. They laughed and they smiled, not a soul did look gay. They talked all the while, but not a word did they say. I brought me a quart to drive gladness away, and to stifle the dust, for it rained the whole day. We sat down on a hot, cold, frozen stone. 10,000 stood round me, and yet I was alone. Took my head in my hand for to keep my head warm. 10,000 got drowned that never was born.
Bob Dylan stole that for Masters of War.
Masters of War, right?
At least he stole from a really good
Every bit as surreal as anything Dylan ever wrote.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. All right. Steve's up next, so I'm going to mute everybody. Here we go. All right, Steve, all yours.
Well, just off camera, there's this beautiful woman that I want to ask to dance. Excuse me, madam, would you care to dance? A wonderful invention, they call it, the waltz, which I must learn to do with some haste. Whate'er your intention, be noble or false, you can hold a lady round the waist. I know nothing of ladies, 'cause I am a bloke, and I've always been one, I'm sure. My mum always told me that sex is no joke, and it's better to always be pure. She said I should focus on healthy pursuits, think only of work, church and sleep. For hell and damnation are always the fruits, if naughty desires you keep. What a wonderful invention, they call it, the waltz, which I must learn to do with some haste. Whether your intention be noble or false, you can hold a lady round the waist. I'm told that a lady is so nice to touch, like a peach when it's just right to eat. Their wonderful shape seems to differ so much, and they have such dainty little feet. They all wear long dresses right down to the ground, and they glide like a swan on a lake. They laugh with a soft, gentle, tinkly sound, and the smile is as sweet as a cake. A wonderful invention, they call it, the waltz, which I must learn to do with some haste. Whether your intention be noble or false, you can hold a lady round the waist. Oh mother, dear mother, I'm now 52, and I think it must be about time. Taking dancing lessons I'm going to do. Oh, how can it be such a crime? You've always told me to stay right away from ladies of the opposite sex. But I'm going to dancing lessons this very day. I don't care if you're going to be vexed. A wonderful invention, they call it, the waltz, which I must learn to do with some haste. Whether your intention be noble or false, you can hold a lady round the waist. Ah. Thank you. That's the end of that one.
Yay, Stephen, Miss Mark.
Kudos to your partner as well.
Yeah,
He said thank you.
of course you did.
Is that an old song or did you write that?
I wrote that one.
Okay. You have a very, very interesting use of meter and emphasis in that. It was very hard
Early
to do, I
19th
would think.
century.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, we've captured that on video. You do know that, Steve. You do.
Yeah, that's fine.
It may be used against you in court or something. No, it's lovely. All right, it's Birdman's turn. We're going to mute everybody. Here we go. Boom. Okay, Birdman, all yours.
Oh, this is one. I guess it's a little bit longer than the last one, maybe 2 lines. And it's titled Inner Reflection. When I look into your eyes, it is as I am looking into a mirror at myself. I really see myself looking around, trying to find out who I am. I tried the baseball game until my arm went out. I tried a hoop game, but injuries ended that dream. I loved music, but never gave it a chance. I did some DJ work, wrote a few songs, but never got deep into it. I always found peace and happiness writing poems. So I would go to a quiet place, roll one up, fix a drink, and listen to some smooth jazz. My pen would begin to flow. As I returned to look deep into the mirror, trying to find myself, I realized then that I was always staring straight at myself. The hurt and shame have disappeared. There were dreams of fame and glory as I viewed the future. But the wait has been too long with uncertainty. My eyes has lost their youthful view as my hand lost its art. I am not too old, but in my heart, my mind is filled with healthy thoughts. The tears that ran from my eyes have since dried up. The heartache is no longer within me, and I am finally free. Thank you.
Very good.
For sharing that, that's something.
Thank you.
Yeah, some of us musicians and poets, we hide behind our poems and songs, but you kind of hung it out there, so thank you. All right, I believe it is my turn, so I'm going to mute everybody. Here we go. I want to say I get a bit punchy after the second hour, so if I skip somebody, get back to me and just tell me. So, but I think so far so good. This is a song from one of my favorite songwriters, the Canadian Stan Rogers, who I think most people know. He died young at 33, and his last gig was just outside of Austin, and he died on the way back in a plane that caught fire on the runway, and he was helping people get out, was overcome by smoke, I think up in Cleveland or Detroit or somewhere like that. Anyway, this is about a man who's obsessed with saving a boat, and it's not the Mary Ellen Carter, so It's the other one. It's called Man with Blue Dolphin. Blue Dolphin is the name of the schooner he wants to save. It was just like him, he had to pick a boat gone from dowdy to derelict in half a dozen years. Sorry, let's start that over. It was just like him, he had to pick a boat gone from dowdy to derelict in half a dozen years. Searching for an owner, she maybe left her heart in the harbour mud, but she really caught his at the flood, and he wonders how she knew. She was waiting for a loner. Blue Dolphin built by the ruling men, she's lying on the bottom again, with only him to care. But the Blue Nose had a sister. He lost the house and he sold the car. His wife walked out, so he hit the bars and he hit up every friend to raise the Blue Dolphin. And even afloat, she's a hole in the water where his money goes, and every dollar gold, and it's driving him crazy. He pounds its feet wide on the dock in the night and cries, I'm gonna win. And he licks the blood away, and he's gonna raise the dolphin. Blue dolphin's lying like a wounded whale. She's hungry for a scrap of sail to get her underway. Back to salt water. Now there's a man lying spent in the winter sun. He wonders what the hell he has done, and who would ever pay to save his schooner. And even afloat, she's a hole in the water where his money goes, and every dollar gold, and it's driving him crazy. He pounds his fist wide on the dock in the night and cries, I'm gonna win. And he licks the blood away, and he's gonna raise the dolphin. And he's gonna raise the dolphin. And he's gonna raise the dolphin.
Wonderful song. Well conveyed. Thank you very much, Stuart.
Hang it on.
Excellent. Very good.
Ben Rogers.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all dead now, Tom. What are we going to do?
We're going to resurrect them and change the riffs around, recycle them and give it a different name. That's what we do. That's folk music. Everybody must get folk.
That's right. We keep them alive. That's what we do. We keep them alive. Okay.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Thanks.
Well, none of us are dead yet. Last time I checked.
Well, if you look at the empty frames, they're not here, man.
All right. On that somber note, it's time to move on to David. Let me, David, let me mute everybody. Here we go. Okay, David, all yours.
Right. Speaking of surrealism, when I looked up at Stuart's frame suddenly, and I saw the bore of his whistle, and I wasn't quite sure what it was that I was looking at. It was like psychedelic. It was really great. Great moment. I have to thank Rick Herndon for bringing up that interesting poet's answer to Emily Dickinson's famous poem, Hope is a Thing with Feathers. The Thing with Feathers, excuse me. Hope is the thing with feathers. And it seemed only fair after that poetic rebuttal of Emily Dickinson to let her have her say. So the question is how to set it to a tune on the fly, as it were.
And interestingly enough, I came up with two possibilities. So, with your permission, I'll do it first with one and then with the other, and we'll see what you guys think is the best match. Hope is the Thing with Feathers by Emily Dickinson. So we'll try, first of all, Handsome Molly. Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. Okay, that's one possibility there. The other possibility is that wonderful tune, Willie Winsbury. And we'll see what you think of this. Hope is a thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me.
The first one.
The first one, okay.
Really, I
vote
have
for
to
Handsome
vote for
Molly.
Willie. I have to vote for Willie.
Okay, one vote for Willie.
Because it's such a lyrical melody, you know.
It's
Yeah,
true.
melody.
Okay.
Although whenever I hear it now, I think was Brilling and the Slovenly Tove.
Byron Gimbel and the
Dine,
Wave.
I did with that one.
Yes, you did.
But one for Handsome Molly, one for Willie Winsbury. So it's a tie so far. Let's hear from some other people.
Ah,
Here we go. Oh, hands up who liked the first song, the first tune.
Handsome Molly.
Handsome Molly.
Handsome Molly. Okay, 2. Hands up who liked William Winsbury.
That's democracy for you.
Yeah, that's right.
William.
Didn't count. Who won?
That's the trouble.
Some people didn't like either, I think.
No, they like both. They like both.
Well, I was disconnected and I didn't hear most of the first one, so I didn't think I should vote.
Go ahead, Steve. You were saying something.
No, I like them both equally.
That's very helpful. Very helpful. Thank you so much.
I think that sometimes you should sing one, sometimes you should sing the other one.
Perfect solution. Or I could sing the first verse for one tune, the second verse with the other, and then go back to the first tune.
But they're
What you
different.
could do, if you ever have a spot of 2 songs, you could sing both versions and see if anybody noticed. The same song.
Yeah, do one at the beginning of the evening, one at the end. I think they're 2 different songs.
But Terry noticed that you'd used William Winsbury for Jabberwocky, so that flavored the vote.
Actually, let's correct the record. It was Rain or Dine that I used for Jabberwocky, but I did use Willie Winsbury, but it was for the A.E. Housman poem, The Oracles. Really, I wonder why I remember it the other
Correct.
night.
It's all on the tapes. We can go back there.
The other thing about Willie Winsbury is it always makes me think of the Wicker Man.
Yeah.
And that
Right.
and
Yes, the dancing pagans.
they did the final
exactly.
village procession with Willie
Yes.
Winsbury on the.
To be continued. Thank you for your input and sharing.
Talking of pagan processions, Tom, you're up next.
Here we go.
Let me mute everybody.
Sure.
There you go. It's all yours.
I found out today that 1 in 500 Americans have died of COVID, and that's 0.02% of the general population. And in my vision, I want there to be a memorial to these people with their names, like the Vietnam Memorial, the Vietnam War Memorial. But it cannot happen because the intensity of the loss is so much that we could not get those numbers together unless we have one in every village in the nation, a village memorial for all those. So I think the folk musicians and poets need to be attuned to the emotions of our age, which to me are grieving. Anger and grieving. Anger is external and internal is grief. So here's the 3 faces of grief for you. Grace in grieving, age of grief and loss. First, focus with love upon those lost. Next, send light to them and all their families. Then pray and meditate upon their life with memories amplified. All your immense being can transmit to and elevate them. Everything in your life can conjure up their brightness. They live as long as they are remembered well. Sharpen your memories into fierce tears. Recall their virtues. Praise their life. You are always connected. Second phase. Grief shared is love's feast. Extended and connecting, each filigree spider silk web holding this circle of light, so it might candle flicker then burn bright. Remembrance is everything. Rituals to name how and who and why and when, ceremonies to cleanse and recall. We are all passing through worlds. The view depends upon where we place ourselves. Gratitude at having known those of light and love suffuses any sadness, dilutes despairs and depressions, makes joy out of all natural and passing events, and allows us to continue having known best and bright and brilliant, and persisting with those who remain to learn. The passage of time is like the eye of a bee. It sees in all dimensions and blesses every willing flower with the nectar of remembrance, the honey of sweet recall. And the last, the loss. Loss makes us less. When someone leaves, we can no longer talk with them. We grieve at the loss at whatever level of companionship they sank, whether Titanic or rowboat, canoe or kayak. We float within a sea of sinking souls. Who owns depression's end? Each light claims extinction's rebellion. Candle in the wind. Occupy your life with Thomas Merton or Angela Merkel. We all need example. When that is taken from us, we praise the half, not whole. Whole expands, becoming black as recluse spider wounds. So forget me. In your lifetime, the only immortality I seek is physical immortality. Reputations posthumous fail all of us. Who visits cemeteries? Best to live under an assumed rooftop, to be sheltered from storms. Perhaps the litanies of lords and ladies are best known for their shared talents, not titles. For we remember the hummingbird and the owl, less generic sparrow and pigeon. Come on, forget me now. Thanks for listening. Yes, very good. Excellent. We have to find ways to grieve the loss of so much loss. There's so much.
Yeah.
More than Afghanistan, Vietnam, all the wars, the COVID has plagued us with a lack of response, a lack of ritual. And folk musicians, you are the ones who sing it. And it's largely self-inflicted.
Wow,
ain't that the truth? But still death all the same, and loss.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. That was kind of deep.
Sorry about that. I'll say shallow and superficial from now on, I promise.
No. We love the deep. We love the deep. as long as we can tread water, we're okay.
Okay. Oh, I love you all.
All right, let's move on to the Hortons. I will mute everybody. There we go, all yours.
Okay, when Tom first wrote that poem he just read, He sent it to me, and I wrote a poem in response. So I'm going to read the poem I wrote in response to his about all of our friends that are all dying and stuff. And I called it Sea of Life. We float in the sea of life, watching our friends sink one by one, day after day. The more relations we cultivate, the more sorrow we will endure. Those we admire and love die. Some younger, some older, some barely known, others very well known. Who will it be tomorrow? Will it be my turn? Today, I pledge to love and to live. And for our song, we're going to do Color My World, which you could take the first few lines of it would kind of fit. As time goes by, I realize just what you mean to me. Don't go into the love part, but you could think of it as a remembrance song too. So we'll see if my fingers can figure out how to play this today. On soprano. We're going to do it on soprano. And G. Okay, let me get back. No, scoot in there. There we go. Okay, hit it.
Beautiful. Both the poem and the music, both beautiful, wonderful. Love
Yeah,
it.
it was great. I nearly fell asleep playing along with you there. Was that good?
That was Chicago for you.
Beautiful.
51 years ago.
Oh my God. 51 years ago, were we even born yet?
All of us.
Not only born, but
We were born, we weren't very conscious probably, but there we go. All right, that's great. Mary Jane is next. Let me mute everyone. Bing. All right, all yours.
51 years ago. I don't know exactly how old this song is, but it's probably that old because I remember this when I was a teenager. It's called A Teenager in Love. So I'm going to revisit actually being a teenager. And it was by Doc Thomas, Mort Schumann, and Jeremy Thomas, and recorded by Dion DiMucci and the Belmonts. I'm sure you'll remember it when you hear it. Each time we have a quarrel, it almost breaks my heart, 'cause I am so afraid that we will have to part. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a teenager in love? One day I feel so happy, next day I feel so sad. Guess I'll learn to take the good with the bad. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a teenager in love? I cried a tear for nobody but you. I'll be a lonely one if you would say we're through. Well, if you want to make me cry, that won't be so hard to do. And if you would say goodbye, I'll still go on loving you. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a teenager in love? I cried a tear for nobody but you. I'll be a lonely one if you should say we're through. Well, if you want to make me cry, that won't be so hard to do. And if you should say goodbye, I'll still go on loving you. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a teenager in love? Why must I be a teenager in love?
yeah,
All right.
tearjerker. I really enjoyed Steve's light show while that was going on. I don't know
I wish I
if
could
the
have
rest
seen
of you
it. Well,
noticed.
maybe I can see it in the video.
So, 51 years ago, I wasn't even a teenager anymore.
Ah,
Yeah, it must have been older than that then,
Uh,
because I'm pretty sure when I heard this, I was a teenager.
Yeah, it must. Well, I won't say.
Of course, I'm probably older than you
You think so?
are.
No, I just celebrated my 74th birthday. So.
Oh, well, we're the same age then.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
oh, well
Well, so
done.
you were 20 something. Do the math. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Excellent. Show and tell time, I can tell. No, on that note, we'll move to Terry and move into well into the last hour now. So thanks for hanging in
Okay.
there.
Let's see if I can.
Okay, Terry, all yours. You need to unmute.
Okay. Pintor, nacido en mi tierra, con el pincel extranjero. Pintor que sigues el rumbo de tantos pintores viejos. Aunque la Virgen sea blanca, píntale angelitos negros que también se van al cielo. Todos los negritos buenos. Pintor, si pintes con amor, ¿por qué desprecias tu color? Si sabes que en el cielo también las quiere Dios. Pintor de santos de alcoba, si tienes alma en el cuerpo, porque nunca te acordaste de pintar una en negro. Pintor nacido en mi tierra, con el pincel extranjero. Pintor que sigue ese rumbo de tantos pintores viejos. Aunque la Virgen sea blanca, píntale angelitos negros que además se van al cielo. Todos los negritos buenos. Pintar, si pintes con amor, ¿por qué desprecias tu color? Si sabes que en el cielo también las quiere Dios. Pintor de santos del coma, Sweetness alma en el cuerpo, porque nunca te acordaste de pintar un ángel negro. So, change of
Wow,
pace.
great
Oh,
song.
yeah, that was
Great
lovely.
thing. Olay is right.
Yeah, that was written by, I think, if I remember correctly, a Venezuelan poet, and the music was by a Mexican composer, and it was made popular in the United States by Eartha Kitt.
Of course. That was very well done, Terry. Very well done.
Thank you.
You, you, you really, you really emote when you become a Central American.
When I somehow change my ethnicity,
When you,
somehow
when you're
singing in Spanish gives you permission, you know?
when you're either an old black guy from Chicago or some Mexican singer, you're a totally different person, musically speaking, which is interesting.
I try to channel as best I can. Now, some
There you
people
go.
call that cultural appropriation, but you know, if I didn't sing everyone else's material, I'd be stuck with middle-class white boy songs, and I don't know very many.
You do great on the Spanish language songs, really.
Thank
And
you.
great guitar work there, too. All right, Steve. Steve, Ole's son, I'm going to mute everybody. There we go. Okay, all yours.
It's always nice if you can sing a song that's a little bit seasonal. So this is a song that I wrote for Valentine's Day. It's called I Love You. You're mine, oh, I couldn't care less if it does sound possessive. I'll tell you for true, oh, just some of the reasons just why I love you. You're wonderful, marvellous, lovely, fantastic and fabulous, super tremendous, a friend, the most fine person, that's pleasant, exquisite, tremendously brilliant, great, you're a gem. Sensational, striking, delicious and glorious, glamorous, sophisticated and fine, adorable, far out and sweet, very pretty, attractive, amazing, charming and divine. You're mine, oh, I couldn't care less if it does sound possessive, I'll tell you for true, oh, just some of the reasons just why I love you. You're stunning, voluptuous, magical, enchanting, bewitching, you turn me on very much. You're fun to be with, your sunny disposition, me darling, me dear lollipop, me old touch. You're my sugar plum, me sugar butty, me nut, me darling, me dearest, me little fairy, the apple of me eye, you're the air that I breathe, you're the light of my life, the cat's whiskers, bee's knees. You're mine, oh, I couldn't care less if it does sound possessive, I'll tell you for true, oh, just some of the reasons just why I love you. You're unbeatable, talented, handsome and cute. You're a queen, a princess, such a lamb of a gal. You're a brick, a good sport and a jolly good egg. You're like one of the chaps, only better, a pal. You clean, you just smell nice, you wear nice perfume in your marvellous dress and marvellous indeed. You're snuggly, cuddly, bugging her ugly, warm and affectionate, all that I need. You're mine, oh, I couldn't care less if it does sound possessive. I'll tell you for true, oh, just some of the reasons just why I love you. I wouldn't swap you for the moon or the sun or the earth or the planets, asteroids or stars, or the tea in China, coffee in Brazil, or all of the apples in Tasmania. You're mine, oh, you're mine. I couldn't care less if it does sound possessive. I tell you for true, oh, just some of the reasons just why I love you. You're mine, oh, you're mine. I'm saying it now as I've said it before. Just give me a couple of A4 sheets and I'll write you a couple of million more.
That's really great.
That was very good.
Patterson.
Good original stuff there. Good original stuff. Thank you. All right. Excellent. It's probably a little cooler by the looks of Steve. It's getting a little cooler there in Birmingham. So.
Yeah, it's suddenly got a bit cold.
Yeah. All right. It is Birdman's turn, so I'm going to mute everybody. Here we go. Okay, all yours.
Okay. As most of y'all know, I love the beach. I love the birds. Sandy can attest to that because she done heard a lot of my poems. And this one here is titled Here Among Friends. Somewhere in the whisper of the waves, I find my happiness here among friends. I enjoy being surrounded by all the birds who come to say hello to me to tell me they are free. I'm not afraid and they are not afraid. I trust them more than I trust most humans. We spend time together on the beach in the soothing shade of blue waves washing up on the shoreline. They wait to see me, to hear me, to whisper to me that I am among friends. This is where I belong. They glide elegantly and gracefully over the waters. They know me and I know them, and that is more than enough. Thank you.
Excellent. Good
Yeah,
work.
I do also have a video of that, and it's nothing but birds around. That's what I like.
Right, Birdman. You
Yeah.
go.
Well, them birds are free, so that's cool. Yeah. All right. Thank you for that. It is, I think it's me. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Yeah. Despite this fine head of natural brown hair, I in fact turned 70 2 weeks ago. I know it's shocking. It's shocking, but I have to thank my father for that. So I was alive in the 60s. I was a teenager in the 60s, very formative time. And I want to do a song that kind of reflects what a lot of people in the quote counterculture and progressive politics were beginning to feel in the early 70s. It's that great civil rights and cultural change, that community change, social-wide changes that could look possible in the 60s had kind of fallen away, and change was going to happen, but it was going to be slower. And there was a bit of disappointment. And a lot of the rock and rollers and the progressive folkies, they decided to go their own way and kind of turn a little inward and all that stuff. And Jackson Browne wrote this song about that experience, and it's called For Every Man. Here it goes. Everybody I talk to is ready to leave in the light of the morning. They've seen the end coming down long enough to believe that they've heard their last warning. Standing alone, each has his own ticket in his hand. And as the evening descends, I sit thinking about every man. Seems like I've always been looking for some other place to get it together, where with a few of my friends I could give up the race, maybe find something better. But all my fine dreams, well thought out schemes to gain the motherland have all eventually come down to waiting for every man. Waiting here for every man. Make it on your own if you think you can. If you see somewhere to go, I understand. Waiting here for every man. Don't ask me if he'll show, baby, I don't know. Make it on your own if you think you can. Somewhere later on you'll have to take a stand. Then you're gonna need a hand. Everybody's just waiting to hear from the one who can give them the answers. Lead them back to that place in the warmth of the sun where sweet childhood still dances. who'll come along and hold out that strong and gentle father's hand. Long ago I heard someone say something about every man, waiting here for every man. Make it on your own if you think you can. If you see somewhere to go, I understand. Not trying to tell you that I've seen the plan. Turn and walk away if you think I am. But don't think too badly of one who's left holding sand. He's just another dreamer dreaming about every man. He's just another dreamer dreaming about everyone. She's just another dreamer dreaming about everyone.
Very well done.
Very nice.
Thank you. Little Jackson Brown. And I've noticed that Paul is arrived, so if you don't mind, David, I think I'll have Paul come in next, if you're ready.
Excellent, excellent. Let's do it.
Let's mute everybody, and then it's over to you. So, okay, Paul, all yours.
Right. Okay. This sounds like it was written in 2000 for the current crisis, but actually it was written in 2008. Just set for an imaginary crisis, I think. But you'll probably recognise some of the scenarios within. So, we were lucky, you might say. We were safe here at the time, and I gave my last few gallons to an old school friend of mine. He rang to say he'd made it home, and before they cut the line, he said he'd come back up to see us when it's over. When the shelves began to empty, there was panic in the streets. People going crazy just to find enough to eat. We're on survival rations now, and it doesn't taste too sweet, but we'll have ourselves a slap up when it's over. When it's over, when the wheels turn again, when it's over, just hold on until then. When it's over, you'll go home again, my friend. So let's do the best we can until it's over. I've got a room out in the garage for a fellow such as you, who knows what plans could do us in and which might see us through. You'll be wanting to move on soon, and good luck when you do, but you'll still be needing good luck when it's over. We'd a woman here last night, she was heading for the west. She'd run out up in London, she seemed a bit depressed. But you know and I know that just like all the rest, and she'll see the funny side when it's over. When it's over, when the wheels turn again, when it's over, just hold on until then. When it's over, you'll go home again, my friend. So just do the best we can until it's over. We've a little wind-up radio, there isn't much to hear, but the news was on this morning, and they say the end is near. They found oil down near Margate, but they can't transport the gear, and I think we'll all be older when it's over. I know you're stranded miles from home, I'm sympathetic to your plight, and to say that I'm enjoying this, it wouldn't be quite right. But the sound of blessed silence and the stars we see at night are the things I will remember when it's over. When it's over, when the wheels turn again. When it's over, just hold on until then. When it's over, you'll go home again, my friend. So just do the best we can until it's over. When the wheels turn again, when it's over, just hold on until then. When it's over, you'll go home again, my friend. So let's do the best we can until it's over. By Brian Hooper.
Yay.
Great song.
Great song.
Yeah.
Oh, that was remarkable.
Some of it's very, very prescient, isn't it?
Yeah, scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did find oil near Margate, did they not? Or gas or something?
I think they might have, and it's possibly that might have been about the time of that maybe prompted the song or prompted that bit in the song.
All right. Excellent. Excellent job. Okay, David, you're now up in line. Let me mute everyone. Whoops. Okay, David, all yours.
Right. Welcome, Paul, by the way. Always nice to see you. So, Stuart is right. Autumn officially begins on Tuesday, I believe. The official end of summer, beginning of fall. And we've also heard some songs about mortality. So that prompts me to do this one. It's Shakespeare's Sonnet number 73. And the tune I've chosen is a Norwegian ballad tune with a very strange scale, something like. That time of year thou mayst in me behold, when yellow leaves or none or few do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold. Their ruined choirs where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day, as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night must take away. Death's second self that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceives, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long. This thou perceives, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long.
Excellent. That works well with that sonnet there. Very nice. Now,
I thought I saw Ian pop
Ian
in.
popped in. He may pop back later. And if he does, we'll put him in. But in the
He tends to
meantime,
turn up at the wrong times. I'm
in
not
the
sure
meantime,
what's
the
wrong with his clock.
Hortons are next. So I am muting or the Hortons. There we go. All yours.
Okay, we're going to change the tempo here a little bit and get everybody moving around. I don't know where Steve is. He might want to dance. We're going to do a jazzy arrangement of My Favorite Things from the musical The Sound of Music. So, and I'm going to do it on soprano recorder, and he's going to do it on that red Stratocaster. So you can sing along or dance along or whatever you want to do.
By the way, I wanted to let Stuart know that if Steve starts dancing and it looks entertaining, what you do is you can click on his picture and say spotlight for everyone. and then Steve's dancing will turn up in the recording as well.
Okay.
All right.
Saw that dancing back there.
Hey, Steve! Yeah!
And I got my favorite little dog, too.
Yeah. That was cool. Very cool.
Very
All
nice.
right. Mary Jane, why don't you give us a one here? I'll mute everybody. Okay, all yours.
Okay, I'm going to do a song called The Highway Patrol. It's by Red Simpson and two guys named Rush and Payne. It was recorded by Junior Brown, who is a really hot guitarist, but there won't be any hot guitar music in this rendition. And I'm hoping that our English folks can relate to it. I don't know what you've got over there, like highway patrol people, but I think our Texas people may be able to relate to it pretty well. Okay, here we go. I got a star on my car and one on
my chest, a gun on my hip, and the right to arrest. I'm the guy who's the boss of this highway, so watch out what you're doing when you're driving my way. If you break the law, you'll hear from me, I know. I'm working for the state, I'm a highway patrol. Well, you know me when you see me, 'cause my door's painted white. My siren is a-screaming and my flashing red light. I work all day and I work all night just to keep in law and order, trying to do what's right. If I write you out a ticket, then you better drive slow. I'm working for the state, I'm a highway patrol. I'm the highway patrol, the highway patrol. My hours are long and my pay is low, but I'll do my best to keep you driving slow. I'm just doing my job. I'm a highway If you're driving too fast like you shouldn't do, you can bet your boots I'm coming after you. If you want a race, then get on a racetrack, 'cause if you try to run away, I'm gonna bring you back. I'm here to keep all the speeders driving slow. I'm just doing my job. I'm a highway patrol. Highway patrol, highway patrol. My hours are long and my pay is low, but I'll do my best to keep you driving slow. I'm just doing my job. I'm a highway patrol. Just doing my job. I'm the highway patrol.
Way to go, Mary Jane.
Yeah, it's right up there with you're wanted by the police, and my wife thinks you're dead. No, anyway,
Special relationship with the police here in Texas.
yes, good job, good job. All right, back to the top. Terry, would you give us one, please? Here we go.
Caught me by surprise.
And we're ready for you to unmute whenever you're ready.
Yeah, sorry, you caught me by surprise a little bit. These small sessions go round and round so fast I get a little dizzy and I forget what. So I think this is one I probably sang at the Celtic session, which went long ago, but I'll just do it again. There were 3 brothers in merry Scotland. Merry Scotland, there were 3. And they drew lots which of them should go, should go. And turn robber upon the salt sea. Well, the lot it fell first upon Henry Martin, youngest of all of the 3, that he should turn robber upon the salt sea, the salt sea, the salt sea, for to maintain his 2 brothers and he had not been sailing a long winter's night, part of a short summer's day, when he espied a stout lofty ship, lofty ship, lofty ship, lofty ship, come a biting down on him straightway. Hello, hello, cried Henry Martin, what makes you sail so nigh? I'm a rich merchant ship bound for fair London town, London town, London town. Would you please for to let me pass by? Oh no, cried Henry Martin, this thing never can be, for I have turned robber upon the salt sea, the salt sea, the salt sea, for to maintain my two brothers and me. Come lower your topsail, braid up your mizzen, bring your ship under my lee, or I shall give you the full cannonball, 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 and your dear bodies drown in the salt sea. Oh, I'm sorry. A little technical problem with my cheat sheets. No, we won't lower our topsail. No, we won't lower our lofty topsail, nor bring your ship under your lee. And you can't take from us our rich merchant goods, merchant goods, merchant goods, nor point our bold guns down to the sea. Then broadside to broadside and at it they went for nearly 2 hours or 3, till Henry Martin gave to her the death shot, the death shot, the death shot, and straight to the bottom went she. Bad news to old England came, bad news to fair London town. There's been a rich vessel, she's cast away, cast away, cast away, and all of her merry men drowned. Thank you.
Very, very nice. Love that too.
All right, Steve, you're up. Here we go. Mute everybody. Boom. It's all yours.
I'm going to sing you a song about a man who has lost his dog. Now, I have to make sure that you understand that little fact at the beginning. Otherwise, the entire song doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I have to get back from the... make sure I don't overwhelm the microphone. It doesn't cope with concertinas very well, my microphone. I just lost my little dog. It's made me feel quite sad, 'cause that I'm a little pussycat with the only friends I had. He was a Pomeranian, a one night in the street. I let him loose and he ran like mad, 'cause someone shouted meat. Has anyone seen my Pom? Pom tiddly-om-pom, pom-pom, ran away. I don't know why, didn't stop a minute to say goodbye. Got no collar round his neck to show where he came from. Has anyone seen my Pom tiddly-om-pom, pom-pom? Family since the day Lord Nelson died. Yet I fancy he'll come back, though I can't tell you why. Perhaps one day he'll turn up in a steak and kidney pie. Has anyone seen my Pom? Pom tiddly-om-pom, pom-pom, ran away. I don't know why, didn't stop a minute to say goodbye. But I've got his pedigree to show where he came from. Has anyone seen my Pom tiddly-om-pom, pom-pom? All his legs are twisted and he's nearly lost his sight. He's got no ears and his tail's dropped off, otherwise the dog's alright. And if you ask how old he is, I get in such a fix, 'cause he was in the fire of London 1666. Has anyone seen my Pom? Pom tiddly-om-pom, pom-pom, ran away. I don't know why, didn't stop a minute to say goodbye. You would think that on his tail someone had tied a bomb. Has anyone seen my Pom tiddly-om-pom, pom-pom? Has anyone seen my Pom? Pom tiddly-om-pom, pom-pom, ran away. I don't know why, didn't stop a minute to say goodbye. Perhaps he's gone to Brighton with old Bonzo on the prom. Has anyone seen my Pom tiddly-om-pom, pom-pom?
That was great.
That was charming.
Really great. I have to thank Steve for taking this session in a whole new direction, one in which we just look down and say, oh yes, panpipes and concertina. Right.
It's a pipe organ. It's a pipe organ. No. No, it's that's great. We're reaching the end of our time here, so there's just room for Birdman to do his thing and Paul, and then I think David will will take us out. So, come back next time. There's always room for more. So Birdman, it's your turn. Here we go. I'm muting everybody. Okay, all yours.
Okay. This is a poem I wrote after we visit Valley of Fire in Las Vegas, and it's titled Man in the Shadow. I became aware that I was not alone. Someone was with me, floating off into my deep thoughts, realizing he was there all the time from the beginning to the end. In the background, hiding in the shadows. He was never noticed. He didn't have a face. Time seemed simple until I caught a slight glimpse of a shadow that wasn't mine. I didn't quite understand that. I didn't quite understand the vision, so I ignored it like so many other times. Never did I imagine I would come face to face with him. Everything has a beginning and end. Not knowing when he would show up, I turned around and there he stood in my shadow, like a vulture, watching each move and each step. The sun shines bright as my shadow stands tall. When the clouds move in over the sun, as I look around, I only see darkness. My shadow goes in and out with me, as does the man in the shadow. Together, we fade into the darkness. Thank you.
Really good. Really good.
Ah,
Love it.
that scared me, man. That scared me. So
Yes, interesting imagery.
I want to see what happens next. Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Matt, Birdman. Okay, Paul, over to you. Here we go. Mute all. Okay, all yours.
Okay, this is by Fred Small. Was written in response to either a request or a remark from a lesbian friend of his that she had no suitable lullaby to sing to her son. We've cleared off the table, leftovers saved, washed the dishes and put them away. I've told you a story, tucked you in tight, at the end of your knockabout day, as the moon sets its sails to carry you to sleep over the midnight sea. I will sing you a song no one ever sang to me. May it keep you good company. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. Travel any country where your heart leads you, knowing I will love you still. Whether you live all by yourself, gather friends around you, or choose one special one, the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. There are girls who grow up strong and bold. There are boys quiet and kind. Some race on ahead, some follow behind. Some go in their own way and time. Some women love women, some men love men, some raise children, some never do. You can dream all the day, never reaching the end of everything possible for you. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads you, knowing I will love you still. Whether you live all by yourself, Gather friends around you or choose one special one. The only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. Don't be rattled by names, by taunts, by games, but seek out spirits true. If you give to your friends the best part of yourself, they will give the same back to you. So be anybody you want to be, and love whomever you will. Travel any country where your heart leads you, knowing I will love you still. Whether you live all by yourself, gather friends around you or choose one special one. The only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done. Yes, the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done.
Thanks, Paul. That was lovely.
It was great.
Absolutely
Yeah.
lovely.
But small.
Really enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
that's great, Paulie. The National Crater Gathering in the States, there's a lot of musicians come together, and there's always that song's always comes up in the jam sessions. That's beautiful. So thank you everybody for coming. Same bat channel, bat time, and all that. So David, why don't you take us out with the parting glass?
Thank you, Stuart, and thanks everyone. The parting glass and then a little double jig called Happy to Meet and Sorry to Part. Oh, all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that I ever did, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass, good night and joy be with you all. Oh, if I had money enough to spend, and leisure time to sit a while, there is a fair maid in this town, who sorely has my heart beguiled. Her cherry cheek and ruby lip, I own she has my heart in thrall. So fill to me the parting glass, good night and joy be with you all. Oh, all the comrades that e'er I had, they're sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts I ever knew, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and I'll softly call, good night and joy be with you all. I'll softly rise and I'll gently call, good night and joy be with you all.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Good night. Till next time.
Yeah. Everybody have a safe week.
Yeah.
And you too, brother.
Yeah.
We'll
Good
see
night.
you all.
Yeah.
I will press the get out of here button right now.